In this video, I'm going to show you how to realistically draw a sphere. A sphere is a three-dimensional circle like a ball or a globe. Start by drawing a vertical center line right down the middle of your page. Artists use center lines to sketch because it makes a picture come out better if you draw from the inside out. Draw a horizontal center line across the middle. Try to line it up so that it crosses exactly in the middle of your vertical line and it's the same length. Draw two diagonal guidelines that cross right through the center. I'm showing you how to draw your lines by making dots and connecting them. This is because if you need practice with your hand-eye coordination, it's easier to plan dots and connect the dots than it is to draw a straight line on the first try. You want to make your diagonal lines the same length as your center lines, so you can measure them if you need to. They should come out looking like a star, not a box. If they look like a box and they line up with the tips of the center lines, then they're too long. See? Draw the outline of your circle by making a curved line that passes through the tips of all the guidelines. It does not have to be perfect on the first try. Just draw lightly so that any mistakes can easily be erased later. If you see any areas that need corrections, then draw a line to fix them next to the old line. Don't erase until you find a line that you like, or you could smudge your drawing. It's easier to make a correction by drawing a better line next to a bad line than it is trying to erase and draw it again on blank paper. If you draw and erase a bunch of times, it could ruin your paper, so it's much better to just erase once you're sure. Now you're ready to erase your guidelines and any other mistakes you made on your circle. Very lightly draw a circular guideline on the top side of your sphere. Be careful not to press too hard because you're going to erase it later. This circle marks where your highlight is. The highlight is the part of your sphere that faces closest to the light source. We need to mark it because we want it to be brighter than the rest of the sphere so you don't accidentally color over it. Color in your sphere lightly everywhere except in the highlights guideline. Then carefully erase the highlights guideline. Around halfway down your sphere, make a curved guideline that's shaped like a crescent. It should be curving around the highlight with the highlight close to its center. You can make one side lower and one side higher if your highlight is off-center like mine is. Color in the area beneath the guideline a medium shade. Blend the border between the light and medium shaded parts of your sphere. If you're using a pencil, you could use your finger or a smudge tool. If you're drawing with something that cannot be smudged, like a crayon or colored pencil, then blend by building up small layers of color. Draw a banana-shaped guideline in the middle of your medium shaded area. Leave a little bit of space between the edge of your guideline and the edge of your sphere. Color in the banana-shaped area with a dark shade. This dark spot is called the low light. Keep in mind that your sphere is 3D, so half of it's going to be facing completely away from the light source, and therefore you're going to need a dark spot. Blend the edges of your low light into the medium shaded area. Take a minute and blend your whole sphere to get it smooth and round looking. Note how I left a strip of the medium shaded area under the low light. Your sphere will look more round if you let it transition from dark back to medium again because our 3D sphere has reflected light coming from every direction, even on the dark side that faces away from the light source. Pretty good, but it would look a little bit better if we drew one more banana-shaped shadow on the bottom half of our low light. Make it off-center and away from the light side because our sphere is curving away from the light source. Fill it in nice and dark. Blend it one more time. Beautiful. We're going to tighten up our sphere by tracing over the outline again and fixing any mistakes. Erase any smudges or problems with the outline. We're almost done. The last part is our shadow. It's going to do a lot to make your sphere look real, like it's sitting on a flat surface. The shadow is going to be an oval, and if you see on mine, it's sitting there under the sphere with its side cut off. My light source is coming down at an angle, so my shadow will be on the opposite side as the light. If I drew straight lines that showed you the rays of light, you would see that the highlight, the shading, and the shadow all line up with each other. Draw your oval for your shadow. Color it in black. That's it, you're done. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to draw a sphere.